Hello everyone, I'm Joanne and welcome to my craft room. In this series from Spellbinders, we're going to be creating with these beautiful HEXI-GEMS. This is called the Stitch Kaleidoscope HEXI-GEM and this is the Glimmer Hex. So I'll be using both of these in a couple of videos. Now I am an affiliate for Spellbinders, and all of the links are below to the products that I use in this video for you to go ahead and click on if you would like to place an order. I do receive a small commission. Of course, it's at no cost to you when you click on my link and order. I really appreciate it. Keeps me going here. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is interesting. This is very interesting. It makes like this, I don't know, like this gem. And I think that it was just so much fun. Now the thank you right here, I had created a few videos back when I got my Spellbinders Platinum 6. It came with this embossing folder, and then it came with some dies, okay? And here they are. So it came with a thank you and some flowers and leaves and then little centers to the flowers, which is awesome. And so I decided, or way back when I got the machine and I did a little video, I wanted to see how the dies cut and everything, how the machine works, so I made this thank you. And it was sitting over here to the side, and I was like, this is perfect for the front of this card, which is why we save things, right, as crafters. So here's the inside. That's fun, right? And then here's a little bit on the envelope right there. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and start. Let's see, I have my envelope here. I have a card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. It will open like this. I use the GINA white cardstock, links are below. And the inside is GINA's Black Onyx. I love this cardstock. Now you want to give your cards some like body. This is fantastic cardstock. So this piece is 5 by 3 3/4, and then the GINA white on top, that is 4 3/4 by 3.5. Okay, wonderful. Now again, on the outside, I've got Black Onyx, GINA Black Onyx at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I believe I did this one. And then I have her pink. This is so, let's see, it is Innocent Pink. GINA's Innocent Pink, and this is at 5 1/4 by 4. Let me make sure of those measurements so that yes, 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, and this is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I just wanted a very thin, very thin black border around there, then to complement the white card base. Okay, also. All right, now let's go ahead, and I have these dies laid out. This is how these dies come. And you know, if I had some little circus animals, you know, like a giraffe or an elephant, this reminded me of a big top, right? I mean, I was like, it reminds me of if you just used it by itself and just put like a little giraffe, maybe a little elephant, maybe a little ball, something like that. I don't have anything like that here as of yet, but I thought that's what this reminds me of. Then you could do a kid's happy birthday. You know, you could put the number, let's say they're turning 3. Put the number 3 on it, maybe up here in a die cut. I thought that would look so cute. But anyway, so that was just thinking outside the box. I thought I'd pass it on. Now this comes like this, okay? And this does your embossing. And these lines that are on here are where you're going to stitch. Stitching is so simple. So I like, when I get things like this, if I'm going to cut them, I like to tape things together, okay? So let's go ahead, let me go ahead and do that really quick here. I'm just going to tape that so that I have a nice border around there and I'm in good shape, and that's just going to kind of hold that together for me. And let me put another piece here. Okay. All right, now when I look at this, this has like a very thin line at the top, okay? And then you have 2 others in the set. This one has a thicker border, okay? And then this one, to me, even has a thicker border, okay? So that's the way that I layered it. I layered the white, and then I'm gonna do the pink, and then the black, okay? So, and the pink is Innocent Pink. I have to remember that name, Innocent Pink. I like to give them credit for everything that, you know, of course, that they design and do. So, so if you look at these, I'm sure that you can see that this part of the top of it, this is the thinnest one. Then the next one, this is like medium, and then like this is large. Okay, that's the way that I kind of said it. So hopefully that will help you. Okay. I'm going to move this aside, all right? And we're not going to foil on this one. I have another idea with the foil. So that'll be another card. All right, let's go ahead and bring in the die cut machine. And let's go ahead and do some embossing. So when I put the card together, it looked really great, but it needed just a little something. And I'm telling you, I'm really going to this embossing folder a whole lot because it's a wonderful background one. And the Spellbinders ones are large, so that even if you do like scrapbooking, it's great for that. You could get a really nice sheet. Okay, so I'm putting that in there. I want to have it straight, okay? And I'm putting it down and using adapter D. And I'm nice and lined up, and we're going to roll it through. Oop, wait a minute, I don't have my sandwich right. Sorry. My embossing folder slipped out. I could feel it. Now, okay, so let me give you a little tip. If that happens, a good way to start with this is when you engage the machine, let the handle move. Okay, when you engage the machine, the handle will roll. I'm sorry, my arm was in the way. See, the handle will roll over there. Okay, so there we go. And then we are good to go there. And like I say, my machine is brand new, so it is tight, but it makes just a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous imprint. Look at that. Wow. Look at that deboss side. That's cool too, right? Okay. So now, let me move these aside, and let's go ahead, and I'll put my, I'm going to use my Platform B because now we're going to cut, and I'm going to use my Magic Mat. So I purchased this the other day. They were having a sale on them. I've always wanted to try one, and I've used this like crazy today, and I love it. So that's just my take on it. Okay, we need 2 in the black. And the black one is the third one, okay? So the last one. So we need 2 cut like that. I'm just trying to save paper and use it up. So let's go ahead and just cut. And now you put a clear plate on top, and there is no warping. I am so happy with this Magic Mat. And honestly, I'm just rolling it back through just to bring it on my side, because most of the time I'm a klutz. So here's this, and I'm just going to, wow, that is in there. Let me get this released with my little tool over here. There we go. Okay, that is awesome. So let me get that little piece out. Okay. And there's little dots on here, so through this video I'm just going to pull this out and get my little spatula and take them off here in my little trash can that I have to the side. So we will make this card together, okay? So let's see, I've got a bunch of little pieces here. There we go. All right, now let's go ahead and cut another one. And of course it's out of the same one. Let's see, can I get another one in there? Yeah, I'll go like that, right? You know, we're crafters, we save paper. I'm not going to roll it back through. That was like, yeah, if I hit the camera, I'm sorry. Okay, that is wonderful. All right, now we'll just, there we go. Oh, that's so perfect. Now let me go ahead and clean this. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is start to cut some pink. And does it matter with those? I don't like those dots being on there, really. Okay, I'll tell you what. I need to cut about 5 pink. So I'm going to cut those. And let's go ahead and do the top real quick while I'm on here. And then I'll cut the pink. That's nice about the extended mat. I can kind of get away from that, right? Okay, so we taped that piece together. Of course, in picking it up, I untaped it. So we taped this together, okay? And now I'm just going to put this on some white cardstock. And I don't like the position of it, for sure. Let's go ahead and reposition this. And then I'll cut that pink off camera, because that's going to take me just a few minutes to get it cut and clean my board and clean and cut and do all of that. So you know how it goes. All right. And back this way. All right, now, okay, because I wanted to cut this because I want to show you what comes here. Okay. See all the lines? Those are the stitchable lines, okay? And you know what? We could just start to stitch. Let me move this aside because then I'll cut those pink. While the camera's still rolling, let's talk about stitching here. And then I'll cut everything and then we'll come back and put it together, okay? So I have just like a little tapestry needle here. And I use all 6 strands of the floss. And if you've heard me talk about this, this is my grandmother's floss. This floss is at least 75 years old if it's not 100. And I seriously mean that. And it is, I found it when I was going through some things, and it's absolutely wonderful. There's nothing wrong with it. It's so fantastic. So I just wanted to tell you guys that. So now watch over here. There's lines straight down, because I missed that on when I did the first one. I was like, there's something missing, but it's this straight line down on the sides, okay? And like I said, I'm going to use all 6 strands. I'm just going to come up through the bottom here. And this is such easy stitching. Whoop. You got to stop, right? Not to pull the whole thing out or make knots. Here we go. Okay, so now what I do is I just take my finger. I'll put this back here, and I'll just take my finger and I'll kind of hold that tail. Okay, some people make a knot. I don't really like to make a knot. So I'm going to come up through here. Okay. Just straight. Now I'm going to cross over back here, because then what that's going to do is make a little bridge, and it's going to hold that floss down there on the back. Okay, just like that. Now I'll come up through here and just follow the crisscross pattern. All right. Now again, I want to incorporate this. Okay, I'm looking at that right there. Okay, but I'm going to come up here and then down in here. Okay, I still have this held, okay? Now I'm going to just I'm going to come up here, okay? Or you could either go up there, or you could go down here. It doesn't really matter, wherever you want to go. I'm coming up here because, again, I kind of want to give this tail a little stability with my X back there, okay? And now just follow this pattern, and it doesn't matter what the back looks like. Nobody's going to see it. And just have fun making your X's, and you'll stitch all the way across, okay? And then up here, everything goes into this one big hole up here. So let's say that I have that bottom done, which I will. I'll finish it off camera. And I'm going to come here. We're going to come up here, just like that. And then we're going to come down here into the second hole, okay? And then we're going to come up and then down again. We're going to make the big top, right? And then in here. Okay, now see, I will follow this pattern, and that's exactly where those lines are taking me. I'll follow this all the way through here. I'll get my X's completed, and then I'll come back with this and everything cut out, and we'll put our beautiful card together in just a few minutes. Back in a second. Okay, so this stitched up so cute. Look how sweet that is. Isn't that nice? Now, of course, you could just use it like this. And I also found a couple, you know, different ways to use these little things over here. So, you know, which were these accent pieces, I should call them, I guess. All right, so let's go ahead and glue some things down here. And this is what I did with this piece. Because of the graduation in the size, like this is the thinnest, and then the pink, and then the black. You could really see it now that it's cut out. This one is a little thicker on the top than that one. So I want to put my pink down first, just like that. I'm going to use some GINA K Connect glue in the fine tip glue bottle, which is really fantastic for this application. Especially this is really thin. Could have made an adhesive sheet out of the back of this too, you know. But I think we're doing fine with the glue. All right. Now, what you want to do is like to offset this, okay? You just want to offset it. So I'm just going to kind of put it down here. And I'm going to just make sure that I see my pink. Just the least little bit. Doesn't have to be a whole lot of it, but maybe just like that, okay? Just that little bit. And again, like right now, it's a little hard to see with the pink and the white, but watch what happens when I just put the black on there. It just makes it just, bam, stand out, right? Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. I've got a little bit more surface area here, which is fantastic on this one, right? This doesn't take a second to get the glue on here. Wonderful. Now bring this into position, and I'll just kind of line it up a little bit. Let it pick it up. That actually lined up great. That's awesome. Maybe make that, so whoop, that side a little bit thinner. I try to make it match the one that I have already done. See, that's good. I think that'll be fine, just like that. And so that just really defines that outside of it. I think that's awesome. All right, now, what we want to do now, now, you know, it all depends on how you want to use these. I put one on top of the other. You can make it longer like this, a little bit longer, and then put a sentiment strip in the middle if you wanted to. But what I did was I just took some glue and I put it here. And then I attached my gem like that. You know, I think, you know why this reminds me of? I know what this reminds me of now. My grandson has these gems that he likes to dive in the pool. I have a little above the ground pool. And he likes to dive in, you know, and just, well, he doesn't really dive. He goes under the water, right? He throws them in the pool and goes under the water and finds them, you know, with his goggles or a snorkel or something like that. He plays. But the gems, some of the gems are shaped like this, with straight sides and points, and that's what that reminds me of. Okay, anyway, so now I'm going to go ahead and see the back. It doesn't matter what the back looks like. Don't even worry about it. We're going to go ahead and add some adhesive here, and definitely foam, because you're already kind of popped up with the thread, okay? So just kind of add. And really, like here, I'm going to definitely put 3. And don't worry, go right over top of, with whatever kind of foam that you're using, go right over top of the thread. And then you want to put a little one up here. I found that out. Just kind of put like a little one up there, okay? And we want to do the same thing to the bottom. I'll get all these backs off. Good. And now just 3 more here. Because you really want this thing to be secure, right? And then I'm just going to stick another little one right up in here. Okay. So a lot of foam, and you know, if you don't have the squares, cut some strips, something like that. It doesn't matter. So that looks great. Okay. Now, put that aside. Let's go ahead and bring our card base in, and I've got that beautiful black onyx. Oh my goodness, at 5 by 3 3/4, and Nina White 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Now that looks pretty. You know, it's just black and white, but I wanted to bring in the pink. So I decided to put these little guys in the corners. I thought that they were fantastic. You know, kind of little dressing up for the envelope and for the inside of the card. Just some glue. And again, I could have run this through with adhesive sheet and just peeled it off and stuck it in here. No big deal. But like I always say, when I'm designing, I don't use a whole lot of adhesive sheets because I'd have adhesive sheets on so many things that I didn't need it on. Isn't that pretty? Doesn't that just define it? You could almost only do, you know, do just one corner if you wanted to. That looks great. So it just takes a second, you know, to run it through and get everything cleaned up and cut out. And sometimes I just like to come, which I haven't done it in a very, very, very long time. I've really been busy. Spellbinders is keeping me very busy. But sometimes I would just like to come in here and like get a set that I really like and just cut out a bunch of flowers in a bunch of different colors. Look how pretty that is. Huh. Just out of the outside little accents, right? That's fun. I'll show you how I did the envelope. Of course. I try to do everything with you guys. You know, because I never know if somebody's brand new to card making. They might have just found me. Or they might have just found like glimmer hot foil. They might just have found, you know, just stenciling or something like that. So I know sometimes it sounds repetitious, but there is a, oh, I'm going to get a clog because I've had the glue open for hours. Because I've been in here all afternoon, which is wonderful. Nobody's complaining about that, right? I know I'm not. If I have to go to other glue, I will. I think I'm going to make it. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Now look how pretty that looks like in the inside, what the inside of the card makes it look like, right? And it just ties everything in from the front to the back, everything. Okay, now the black onyx again. This is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and the what's it called? Innocent pink. I can't remember the innocent pink, and it is 5 1/4 by 4. So let's go ahead and glue those together. You'll definitely want more glue on this because of all of the embossing, okay? And we're going to glue that right there, and that gives us that nice thin border of black around there. That's wonderful. And now we'll glue this down. Right here. And this gives us a very, very thin border of white. Look at that. And it just accents the card. And honest, when you start with just your base of cardstock and then you just add these layers to it, all of a sudden, like, you've got a great card. I'm going to zhuzh that this way, okay? And then let's go ahead and bring our envelope in. Now what I did with this, I have an extra pink and a black right there. What I did with this was I just wanted a little decoration front and back. So I wanted to mimic this end, and I have a corner here. So I'm just going to kind of come around there, and I'm going to cut that corner out. Okay? Do you see now this one that kind of shoots out to the left a little bit right there? So I'm just going to cut that one off. just like that. Perfect. And now let's go ahead and glue these down. Yep. I have to go to the other. Got to be really careful. This is not, ooh, fine tip. Okay. It's little, but it's not as fine as that. Okay, we're good. And then I'm just going to lay this down here in the center on the bottom. It just ties the whole card in when you decorate even the least little bit on the outside of the envelope. It just ties it all in. Just like that. Let's get this side. This would be a really good thing for an adhesive sheet because of going through the mail, right? But we're just going to liquid glue it up. Come on, there we go. Okay. And just right here in the center. That's all. Okay. So there's our envelope. Now let's bring our card base in. And let's bring in our beautiful hex creation here. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that nice? And now I'm just going to put this in the middle of the card. So I know right here is my center of it. I'm using my grid. Right there on the top. There on the bottom. I'm happy. Okay. There we go. Now, the thank you. Now that looks pretty, right? But there's a lot of pink. Watch what happens when we just add this little bit of like teal. I don't even know what color this is. I don't even remember. So it came out really, really pretty. Whoop. Till you put something on upside down. Oh, there we go. Wonderful. Wow. Just that little bit of pop of color really made this card stand out. Well, I hope you love the stitched Kaleidoscope HEXI-GEMS. Here's the first card. And I will be going and using the hot foil plate on the next one. All right, everyone. All the links are below for any of these products that you would like to purchase. And thank you so much. And I'll see you next time.